welcoming Olakunle, who would be taking us through this particular session for the interview workshop. Please join me us together for him. Olakunle, my apologies, who will be taking us through this particular session. We call him the chief strategist, so I'm wondering why I had to mix it to Olakunle. Olakunle is a result-driven professional with strong background. I'll be reading a bit of his profile. He's a result-driven professional with strong background in project management and significant hands-on experience as an HR consultant with competencies spanning across management consulting, people operations, talent acquisition, recruitment, payroll management, data analysis, HR strategies, and inventory management, as well as learning and development. Olakunle's experience spans various sectors, including FMCG, IT, financial institutions, and oil and gas, providing with a comprehensive understanding of industry dynamics. His involvement in these industries has improved his capacity to use his knowledge and creativity to top talent, assess trends, anticipate needs, and successfully implement growth strategies. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome Olakunle, please join your hands together as it takes us through this interview workshop. Thank you very much, everyone. Olakunle, you may please go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm really, excuse me. I'm glad to be here today. Yes, we are to do interview workshop. Let me share my screen. Okay, so what we are to do is interview workshop. Anytime we mention interview, obviously, there is seriousness whenever you hear the word interview. People that are on a norm, they don't normally use tie, wear tie, dress smartly. The moment you mention interview, they will put on good clothes, look presentable. Yes, which is fine. And it's important as well. Interview can be a serious process, but then you can actually lead and control the interview process by knowing few tips. Now, in this our conversation, we'll be looking at interview process, the types and formats of interview, and what interviewers look for in a candidate. You hear many people saying, oh, I've done several interviews 4 or 5 times and they didn't select me. You ask yourself, why? That means interviewers are looking at certain things that the person does not have. We are going to share that in a couple of minutes. Interview technique. Quickly, I'll just, I said overview of this conversation. We are focusing on interview process, the types, the format, and what interviewers look for in a candidate, as well as interview techniques. We've actually heard I believe many people would have heard or met with people that will tell you have attended several interviews and I failed. The question is why? That means the interviewers are looking for certain things that the person does not have. And here we are going to share those things with us and techniques or the tips how to ace our interview. What does interview mean? If I ask every one of us, what do you understand by interview? We have different opinion about interview. But for the purpose of this workshop, an interview is a formal conversation between a candidate and an interviewer to assess the candidate's qualifications, skills, experience for a specific role. Now, the highlighted words here are a formal conversation to assess the candidate's qualifications, skills, and experience. If I ask Olubisi now that, please, I'm going to point B from point A, please, could you give me the direction? I'm very sure Olubisi will explain to me from point B, go to point C, D, turn here, turn that, then you get to point A. Now, that is very easy for Olubisi to do. If that same Olubisi, we have an interview, and I ask Olubisi, I want to move from point A to point B. The way Olubisi will explain my movement will definitely be different. Why? Because the conversation is no longer informal, it's now formal. If Olubisi sounded confident the time he was telling me, oh, move from point B, C, and D, in an interview, the confidence level may actually drop or reduce. Why? Because the conversation is now formal. And this is the reason why you hear, oh, this person is good. How can you fail interview? It's because the conversation has changed, shifted from being informal to formal. You see some people at home, they can talk from morning to night. In the moment you make the conversation formal, having a serious conversation, they won't have anything to say. You will now be wondering why. Now, I want us to all change our perspective regarding interview. Interview is not something we should take, we should actually be scared of. Just relax. It's a conversation, only that the conversation is format. And interview has two objectives. One is for the candidates and the other one is for the interviewer. Now, for the candidates, you are meant to demonstrate your competencies. That's your objective for interview. And for the interviewer's objective is to assess the candidate's competencies or assess your qualifications, skills, and experience. Now, as a candidate, you know your own parties demonstrate your competencies. So what are the things you need to do to demonstrate these competencies? Those are the things that the interviewer are looking for. Now, here we said the interview process is a part of stages designed to evaluate candidates' qualification. Yes, recruitment process, you have different stages in recruitment process. Interview is one of the stages in recruitment. We've actually been able to establish what interview means. Remember, it's a formal conversation between you and your interviewer. Just conversation. Make it formal. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to sweat. You don't have to just relax and have a conversation. The way you will talk to your siblings at home, that's the way you will talk to your interviewer, only that it's now formal. Now, in the types of interview, we have a behavioral, technical, panel, case study, and lots more. Now, many people will tell you that there is no types of interview. Yes, you can agree to that because no recruiter will send an email to you that, dear so, you have been scheduled for behavioral interview. Nobody will tell you that. Or they will tell you you have been scheduled for panel interview or you have been scheduled for case study interview. No, interview can take any form. Now, this behavioral, it's actually an interview. You get to understand the types of this interview based on the questions you are being asked. Now, behavioral interview is the interview that focuses on past experience and your present experience to predict what you will do in the future. If you are bringing someone in your organization, definitely the person has worked somewhere else. That's at mid-level now, not entry level. That person has actually worked in an organization before. That's the past experience. Now, currently, the person is working somewhere. That's the present. The person is coming to your company. That's the future. So you need to understand the question you will ask. You will hear people in an interview say, tell me a time when you did this and that. How did you resolve it? That is behavioral interview. That's behavioral question. This is strictly for mid-level or senior or top management level. And we will share our details and tips how to answer this interview question as we proceed. Technical interview, of course, the word technical, based on what we heard yesterday, and Esther also mentioned it earlier, we have to leverage on technology. Now, your technical competency, you will be assessed based on different software that you've actually put in your CV that you can use. The panel, we move to the panel interview. The panel is strictly for where you have multiple interviewers. Now, in this case, you can have 5, 6, 7 in some, depending on the role. You can have multiple interviewers. People will be asking you questions. We will also get to how to answer their questions correctly. And case study. So most people that are into marketing, if you're into marketing, this is most likely the type of interview you will be facing or attending. They will give you a hypothetical scenario, tell you to do presentation, tell us how you go about it, you break it down. We also answer how to go about it. So interview can actually be in person. That's physical interview. You come to the office. You can meet anywhere suitable. Then or virtual interview or telephone. Some companies, they do telephone interview. They just call you, hello, is it a good time to talk? Then you have your conversation and the interview is done. Above all, don't let us forget, interview is a formal conversation. Now, what interviewers are looking for in candidates, interviewers are not looking for many things. They're just looking for 4 things. If you have these 4 things, trust me, you get the job. The only thing that can hold you back from getting this job could be maybe the compensation package and other benefits. But for the interview, you are going to pass and excel. Now, first thing is communication. Now, when we're talking about communication and interview, you know this thing. Remember what our first speaker yesterday told us about CV. She said our CV is our first and great impression. Now, for you to make it to the stage of interview, that means you have a good CV. You've actually impressed the recruiter or the interviewer, as the case may be. Now, the interviewer is looking at your communication skills. How are you going to articulate everything you've said, you've actually listed on your CV? You need to communicate it. You hear some people, oh, I have this, I know this thing, but you cannot express yourself. If you can't express yourself, nobody will come to your brain and bring it out for you. No, it's not possible. So you have to learn how to communicate your thoughts, gather your thoughts together, how to communicate your idea perfectly. Experience. Many people also make mistake about this experience, applying for a job that they are not qualified for in terms of experience. Let's assume there's a job role or job opening that we need 5 years of experience. You see someone with 3 years of experience, the person will be applying. Oh, let me, maybe something will happen. They will take me. The person can actually structure his or her CV such that it will show maybe 5 years. Yes, they will shortlist the person. Now, in the interview, the interviewer is actually looking for your experience and not just the number. Things you've done within that organization that is actually related to what they are looking for. If you said, oh, you've been handling payroll or you have been into sales for the past 6 months, and in the role, okay, they ask you, if you have a sales target for 3 months, this and that, what will you do? And you cannot actually demonstrate that experience that, oh, based on experience, this and that, you will do this. Trust me, the interviewer will not actually tick the box of experience for that person. So it is important whenever we are going for an interview, we have to make sure our experience actually, we put our experience thoughts together. Technical skills, of course, we've mentioned that interviewers are also looking at technical skills. Yes, some people, I can remember there was a day we called one candidate, how good are you with Excel? Could you rate yourself? The person actually rated himself 9/10 in Excel. Wow. We're like, that's great. Okay, please, we'll send you assessments. Just do this thing and while we check. Could you believe it? This person could not even use simple if function. Now, that's what interviewers are looking for. You said you can do this thing. So come and demonstrate this. Remember, interview for candidates, you are meant to demonstrate your competencies. That's the essence of the formal conversation you're having with your interviewer. Now, lastly, interviewers are looking for qualities that align with the company's culture. There are some people who they are good, they are spoken, good orator, experience, perfect, technical skills, perfect, but qualities that align with your company's culture. Now, here, many people may not agree with the interviewers. Many people may not agree with them because this is actually subjective. And this is important to the interviewer because every company has their own culture. And based on personality tests that the recruiter or the interviewer would have done, they will know, oh, does this person suit our company? For instance, someone that works in, let's say, oil and gas now. Let me use that as an example. They are telling you you have to interface with the media, and you are told not to disclose the exact barrel of crude that you make in a day in your production unit. Now, if you are this person and you are asked that question in an interview that, okay, your manager said, say this and this to the media, what would you do? And you're like, how will I say, no, I cannot say this, I cannot say that. Obviously, the person does not tick that box for the recruiter, for the interviewer. So there are certain qualities that align with the company's culture. So it is important before you even go for an interview, check the company's culture, understand what the company is into, understand their culture, their core values, everything. If it aligns with yours, then go for it. But if it doesn't, imagine you have good communication skills, your experience is perfect, technical skills apt. But the qualities, it's just what an opposite. Obviously, the interviewer will not select such candidate. Now, there are certain techniques that we can actually adopt to ace this interview. Remember, interviewers are human beings like you. The only thing that changes is just the conversation changing from informal to formal. Techniques is systematic ways of doing something. So which means it's not one way. You can have multiple techniques, you can have multiple methods, you can have multiple procedures. But the things you are going to do is you are still going to achieve the same thing. Imagine at the end of this section, this fantastic program, I'm sure we'll be able to lead our way through in any interview. Now, first technique we should take notice, preparation technique. It is very, very important. Yes, you are good. We know you are very good. But don't leave things to chance. Oh, I'm good. Don't worry. I will see it. I know. Prepare. Learn about the company. We mentioned this earlier. Now, aside learning about the company, you have to review your CV again before going for an interview and check the job description. You know, when you applied, you saw an advert, you saw a particular JDO. We need someone that has so, and so. Check your CV. You send that CV and your CV was shortlisted. Check your CV, map it with the JD, so that when you are being asked any question, it's very easy. The conversation will be very, very seamless. Imagine if you don't have anything upstairs and someone is asking you a question, you just say, you will keep doing for 20 hours, nothing will come out. But if you've read something, you've prepared, if you just, this thing skipped my mind, in a few seconds, you will remember. Of course, interviewers don't expect you to be 100%. Even interviewers are not perfect. They are human beings like you. Then we move to communication technique. We said this earlier. Things that interviewers are looking for in candidates. The number one thing is communication skills. Now, communication is not about talking. The main thing about communication is even active listening. If you don't understand what someone is saying, it will be difficult for you to respond appropriately. This technique is simple. Number one, be active when you are listening. Be attentive. Then your response should be clear, concise. You don't have to talk like a politician. It's politicians that will talk in ambiguous way because, yes, they are very smart. They don't want you to hold them. Oh, I'm holding you with your words. I'm saying you said this, you said that. That's why politicians do that. But as a candidate, potential employee in an organization, make your communication clear. Let it be clear, be concise. You don't have to say many things and say nothing. There are many people that they can talk from now to next year. They will say many things. And if you look at it carefully, they've said nothing. So we don't want to do that in an interview. And I believe after this session, whenever we go for interview, we answer question clearly. We don't want to be talking for talking's sake. Now, the behavioral technique. We mentioned this earlier that in the types of interview, we said this is interview question that focuses on past experience, present, and to predict the future. Now, to answer this question, there's a model developed to answer this question appropriately, which is STAR model. STAR model is situation, the S is situation, the T is task, the A is action, and the R is result. That's STAR. So if you are asked this question, tell me a particular time where you have a high attrition rate, how do you resolve it? Probably you've actually put that in your CV and you are being asked such question. Any question you get, tell me about a particular time where you did this and you achieved this. Just know that's a behavioral question. They want to assess how you can explain the situation, the task that was done, the action you took, and the result. Imagine when I was driving in our company, there was a time the driver was not around. So how did I resolve that problem? You explain the situation briefly. Remember, clear and concise. You don't have to tell us the day you ate before coming to work and this and that. Tell us this particular situation. Then the task assigned to everyone. Maybe you work in a team. So was done that there are person A, person B, person D, and your own role is to do this, and that. Things you did, the action that you took. Then what did you achieve at the end of everything? The results. Then you communicate that. Now, lastly, it's questioning technique. Most interviewers will ask you at the end of the interview, like, do you have any question? Do you have any question? Many people also miss it out in this part by asking questions that are negative. Now, what do I mean by negative questions? Imagine you've been hearing about a company that normally, after 3 months, they will just push most of their employees for redundancy. That, this is redundant. They will start lay them off. Now, you've been reading these reviews online. They posted an advert. You applied. They shortlisted you, come for an interview. You didn't decline the interview. You accepted. You came for the interview. You are done with the interview. Now they ask you, do you have question for us? The next thing you ask is your management not competent enough? Why do you lay off people or setting people up for redundancy after 3 months? Of course, that's a negative question. There are several other negative questions like, you can actually make a comment that is not appropriate in the workplace. There are several negative questions. You don't have to do that. The moment you know your own values does not align with this company's value, you don't have to attend their interview. And if you just want to do it so that you can practice or learn one or two things, you don't have to ask negative questions. Avoid negative questions. There are several questions you can ask. You can even ask a question that will move the interviewer as well. Maybe funny question. You can ask him, so when am I resuming with the company? When am I meeting my team? Everybody will laugh because obviously they've not even told you that they are being selected. So for a recap, in techniques that will actually aid our interview, that will help us. Number one, preparation, communication, behavioral, and questioning. Let us ensure we prepare very well for an interview, and our communication should be clear. We should avoid negative questions. It is important to look presentable. The way you package your CV, design everything looking okay. The way you also handle your phone, you handle your phone carefully because, if the phone damages, you have to pay a certain price. Always look presentable in an interview. Even if it's virtual interview, you have to look presentable because number one, that will give you confidence. There are many people, they will tell you, I don't have confidence talking to people. Just relax. Remember, it's just a conversation. Only that the conversation is formal. It's a conversation. Practice everything you have to say. Yesterday, one of our speakers also said, you can call your friends. I asked also interview, please, could you help me ask this question? Let me see how I perform. Just prepare. Preparation is very important. Then your communication. Thank you all for this session. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having this session with us.